Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the NFL Contest Selection Show here in Week 18. Coming to you a little bit early as we are going to be live streaming during the Seattle Seahawks San Francisco 49ers game that has massive playoff implications for both teams. Um, we've already got one loss in our final five Circa selections. Went with Tampa Bay -2.5, and of course, they win by two. Now, thankfully, I bet Tampa Bay on the money line in a parlay with the Seahawks, as the Seahawks -1.5 are also one of my five selections in the Circa Millions this week. So, although I'm completely out of the money, so it's not like it really mattered. But again, when I pick teams, I pick the teams I think are going to win the game. What can you say about Tampa Bay missing that field goal or getting it blocked there? Just part of the game, I guess. But we've got the great matchup between the Seahawks and the 49ers. Seattle with the win secures the NFC West title and the number one seed. And if San Francisco wins, they secure the NFC West title and the number one seed. So lots to play for both teams here. This is going to be a great game. Again, I like Seattle. I have them on the money line in a parlay with Tampa Bay. And I also have them as part of my Circa 5. Now, we do have, we will be getting the final five selections for the Circa Million contest. I mean, the Circa Survivor contest. Where the final six selections will be releasing, or will be getting their selections for the final week. $18.6 million on the line for these final six entries. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game, or how these selections shake out. Now we've got the excuse me. We've got the remaining possible selections available to us here, courtesy of Circa Sports. Now, all six have the Atlanta Falcons. And by the way, I have my Falcons shirt on, although we don't have anything to play for personally in Week 18. The winner of the Falcons-Saints game will determine who is the NFC South champion. And I also have the Atlanta Falcons in my Circa 5 at -3.5. But all six of the remaining entries have Atlanta available. One entry has Chicago, two entries with Cincinnati. One has Jacksonville, one has Kansas City. Three of them have Minnesota, one of them has New England, one of them has Philadelphia, and four of them have Tampa Bay. I'll be interested to find out how many of them, or if any of them, used Tampa Bay in the final week against Carolina. I mean, that was definitely not a given. They were out big early, and then their offense really didn't do shit the second half of that game. Their defense was really the key to that victory, and the turnovers by Carolina. There was also some very flagrant missed penalties that could have certainly swung the outcome of that game. So, all right, we've got action. The game is kicked off, and Seattle gets the ball first. But we should get the selections for the Survivor at 6 o'clock from VSiN and from Circa Sports, as well as the consensus picks for the Circa Million contest. Now we've got the lines up. We've got the lines available to us. Again, this was -1.5. You've got the Packers +8.5. Ooh. Colts Colts and Texans. Colts have nothing to play for. The Texans could potentially win the AFC South with a win and the Jags loss. Dolphins and Patriots. Again, the Patriots, if they were to win and the Broncos were to lose, could leapfrog Denver, be the number 1 seed, and get the bye. Chiefs and Raiders. The Raiders are tanking for the number 1 pick to draft. Mendoza. What they're saying is Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana, is going to probably be the number 1 pick by the Raiders. Seems like the smart thing to do if you're Vegas, because they have no quarterback. If Kenny Pickett can't beat out Geno Smith as bad as Geno Smith's played this year, then neither one of them are worth keeping long term. They're not going to be they're not the guys you're going to build your franchise around. Lions and Bears. Bears and the Eagles could swap spots, but there's nothing really too important on that game other than who their opponent will be in the wild card round. All right. Seattle moving the ball. Kenneth Walker with a nice screen pass. I've got a couple anytime touchdown scorer matchups that I bet on for this game. I've got the big one. The one is Brock Purdy and Kenneth Walker, which Kenneth Walker's been getting plenty of touches early in this game. That one is plus 1,600. I've got Rashid Shaheed and George Kittle. That is plus 900. And then the big one, the long shot. I've got Jake Tungus, the tight end for San Francisco, and Jake Bobo, the tight end for Seattle, at plus 200. Plus 20,000. That would be something. If Bobo scores a touchdown, or Tungus, I might have to cash that one out early if they offer it. Because who knows if one or the other is going to actually score in that game. That's the big long shot. 2nd and 4. Charbonnet, he got stuffed on that one. They read that a mile away. San Francisco's defense read that one. Jets and Bills. Buffalo really can't do much to improve their spot. It's just going to matter who they're playing. Obviously, the big game, Sunday Night Football, Ravens at Steelers, and we will be live streaming during that game right here on YouTube. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when we go live. And you can join us for the final game of the regular season, Week 18, and see who the AFC North champion will be. Sauerbert already getting in some action. Browns and Bengals. This is a disgusting game, but I've got the Browns plus 7.5 as one of my 5. Circa Millions plays. I'm not sure who's playing for the Bengals at quarterback. I believe they said it's going to be Flacco. If it is, I really like the Browns in this one. I think Myles Garrett's going to have a field day and probably get about 2.5 sacks and really stretch out that record for the sacks. Will Jamar Chase play? Will T. Higgins play? I really doubt it. All right, Kenneth Walker getting some more touches down low. Come on, get Bobo in there and give him an opportunity at a catch. Cowboys and Giants. I would take the the Cowboys in this one, because I really don't think the Giants are going to try. They're sitting guys that are healthy, claiming they're on IR. And they're the number 2 pick right now. I don't think they want to win and mess that up. They've already, they lost to the Raiders, which would have been for the number 1 selection. So there's no sense in doing anything to mess up their number 2 pick. They do have a quarterback already with the Giants, so it's not like they need to have the number 1 pick to choose the top prospect at quarterback. But it's always nice to have the highest draft pick available for one to potentially trade to a team that needs a quarterback and get more draft picks to try to fill some of the voids they have on their team, particularly along the offensive line and in their secondary. Commanders and Eagles. Eagles are resting their players. They're starting their third string quarterback, I believe. And some other players will not be playing, as I don't think the Eagles can only move. Same thing with the Bears. It's going to determine who they're playing. All right. And we've got a penalty in the end zone by Shaheed, or on Shaheed, pass interference on Shaheed. So they're going to get the ball at the 1 yard line. Yeah, JSN. Like he was running a flag route or a 7 route, and yeah, he's holding his arm all day. I mean, Smith's kind of using his arm for separation, but he's grabbing his arm at the same time. You can't do that. So I don't know about this Eagles game, but I'm not on that anyway. As I said, Falcons, go Falcons. I actually put most of my Falcons stuff up because I knew the season was over when they got eliminated from the playoffs, but I figured I'd bust out the shirt since I will be rooting for them to knock out the Tampa Bay Bucks out of the playoffs and let the Carolina Panthers have a shot in the playoffs. As someone who grew up not far from Tampa, I do have a lot of friends who are Buccaneers fans, and they used to give me shit for being a Falcons fan. So I like watching the Tampa Bay Bucks fans suffer. Watch it. Oh, and Sam Darnold takes the sack. Can't do that on 1st and goal. You have 1st and goal at the 2 yard line, and you take a sack and get moved all the way back to the 11 yard line. I mean, come on, Darnold. You're supposed to be a franchise quarterback now. You don't know to just throw that ball out of the back of the end zone? That's horrible. What a bad play by Darnold. I mean, and he was looking right where the blitz was coming, or right where the pressure is coming from. Now they're all the way back to the 12 yard line. 10 yard loss. What a terrible play by Darnold. And now they run it to Charbonnet. It's the difference between 7 and 3 points, man. Sam Darnold just not throwing the ball away. When I see something like that, what it tells me is that the quarterback's starting to press. That he's got too much, going on. That he feels like he's got to do everything on every play when the right play were there was to throw the ball away. All right, a little confusion and timeout by Seattle. A little confusion there. Timeout by Seattle. Now, this Cardinals-Rams game, this is an interesting one because Sean McVay said the starters are going to play. Even though they don't really have anything to play for, they can't win the division, they can't get the number 1 seed. They're in the playoffs, so this is all about seeding who they're going to play. But the reality is, you don't want any of your players getting hurt, but they have lost their last 2 games. So I could certainly see them playing the first half and then Stafford maybe coming out. Don't know if Adams is going to play. Same thing with Nakua. I mean, like Bill Belichick used to say, you tell me when a player is going to get hurt and I'll take him out to play before. But at the same time, the more plays they play, the more opportunities there are for injury. So I think if we see a good first half by the Rams, most of the starters will not play the second half. And they hand it off again to Charbonnet. And he gets to the 5 yard line, 4 yard line. Will they go for it, or will they kick the field goal? They're leaving the offense on the field. How big was that? How big was that sack on 1st down now? If they don't get this, if they don't get any points, if they come away with nothing here, that is a 7-point sack if they don't score right here. The San Francisco defense is +7. Yep, they're snapping it. They're going for it. He's throwing it, and it is incomplete, and there are no flags on the field. San Francisco stands on its head, and the Seattle Seahawks come away with nothing after that pass interference play on Jackson Smith and Jigba that got him a 1st down at the 1 yard line. I mean, just Those are the difference between winning and losing, big games. And we've seen this from Sam Darnold in the past. He played well all year for the Vikings and then got to the playoffs and did not play well at all. Now we got the I do have the list of the leaders here in the million. Coin Hop right now is number one at 58.5 points. Bruiser 1226 has 57. Rex Golf 56. Go down here a little bit further. We've got Sean's Dolphins with 56. And then 1867 Flex with 55. Potato Commish, friend of the show. Follow him on X at Potato Commish. He's got 55. So all these guys here, Money Guns, Toby Shooter, Wink, Chico, Razor Teen, he had a tough week going 1-4. That was brutal. He's still at 54 though, right there in the top 10. And Fezzik, Steve Fezzik, on BetUS and on VSiN. You can find him on YouTube. Find him on X. He's a math guy who's won in the Super Contest, and he's cashed in. I believe he's cashed in the Circa, but I know he's cashed in the Super Contest for sure. He's having a great season himself at 53.5. And if anybody's gonna win in cash, I want it to be somebody who I follow to make sure see if how they're doing. And then Scrim 67, I believe, is in 23rd place right now. Had a 3-2 week, so kept the winning streak going at 52.5. Can't catch the leaders, but could certainly move himself up into into the teens and get himself a nice 5-figure payday on top of the first quarter prize that he already won. But we will be looking once we get the selections for the Circa Million. We can also look at the PDF, and we'll be able to see exactly who each one of these entries has chosen, see which ones are head-to-head, see where these teams can potentially gain points against their competition and maybe, jump up in the standings. Well, now the San Francisco 49ers got the ball. Their first drive, 7 minutes and counting. Nice run on first down for 3 yards, but they're starting at their own 4-yard line, so long way to go. But that is a brutal start for the Seattle offense. And it all starts with that sack by Sam Darnold. All right, Seattle swarming. Short gain, about 4 yards. It's going to bring up a third down for Seattle, for San Francisco, deep in their own territory. We will have the Circa Million selections, and then we're going to bring up the PDF that shows the entries, who they've got. So all right. So Seattle goes for it on fourth down, doesn't get it. Has San Francisco backed up into their own territory, and now they've got a punt on 4th and 3. That was, I don't know if that was a miscommunication or what, but Brock Purdy threw it high over the head of his receiver there. All right, Rashid Shaheed. I have him in one of my anytime touchdown parlays, so it'd be nice to get a special team score here. All right. Goes down to one knee. All right. Gets it to about the 50. Good to see him out on the field, though. Good to see him back and playing in this crucial game for Seattle. We do have a flag on the play. Ooh. face mask on the 49ers, and you can add 15 yards to the end of that kick return. So you're going to have the ball at about the San Francisco 35. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's not good. You can't do that. I mean, he's blocking the guy. He's already got his fingers in the mask, and then when he pushes him away, he stays holding on to it. And we are on a commercial break. But I will be periodically updating to see if when the lines selections are released for each contest. Yeah, so the NFC South winner will officially have an 8-9 record. And I tweeted it out in November or whatever, posted on X in November that when do the teams with a losing record shouldn't make the playoffs post start, and I'm sure they're going to be coming in waves. Now that we know without a doubt that the NFC South champion is going to have a losing record, and they're going to get a home game in the playoffs. And no matter who they play, whether it be, it's going to be one of the wild card teams, right? So it's going to be the Rams, more than likely, right? Or it's going to be the Rams, the loser of this game, or who's the other team? I have it on my list here too. I keep forgetting. Oh, the Packers. Well, the Packers are number 7, right? I think they're locked into the 7th spot. So they're going to play number 2, either the Packers or either the Bears or Philly. Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to be playing the Rams, Carolina, or Tampa Bay, whoever loses that or whoever wins that division. They're going to be a big-time underdog in that game at home. John Gruden posting field goals are okay, especially on the first drive. Seattle didn't take the points, but they didn't give up any either, and they have the ball back in great field position. All right, here we go. 3rd and 2. He's got it. Charbonnet. Oh, and he's in for the touchdown. Seattle takes the early lead. Of course, the guy I don't have on any of my anytime touchdown scores because I went with Kenneth Walker. And Seattle busts off a big run for a touchdown there. But taking the lead, let's go. If I win the money line parlay, I'll be just as happy. All right. 30 more minutes till we find out who is being chosen for the wrong one. The Survivor contest. And again, Tampa Bay having won 4 of the remaining 6 selections or entries, had them available to them. Was anybody brave enough to take Tampa Bay? No, there is no Seattle or San Francisco available. New England, if you got them, there's one entry that has the Patriots. And the Patriots actually have something to play for against the Jets. Or, against the Dolphins. So they should, having that available to them, wouldn't that be something? I got knocked out. I would have been knocked out of Survivor in week 1 because I took the Patriots and they lost to the Raiders. And then have just been on fire ever since. That would be tragic for them to lose week 1 and then lose in week 18 to the lonely Miami Dolphins. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think New England's going to come out and play well. Though the Chargers are resting a bunch of players. Now, Amari Hampton has been ruled out with Justin Herbert being ruled out. I'm sure they're going to rest some other players as well. I know their defense is good. But, you got Trey Lance playing quarterback, and the line has moved significantly from what it opened up as. But those games, I believe, kick off at the same time. The Broncos and Patriots game. They should. That way, neither team knows, whether or not they need to win or not. They just they need to win the game. Yeah, they're both afternoon games. Chargers, Denver, and Miami, New England are both playing in the late window. The Falcons and Saints are in the morning window, or the 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. You've got the Jags and Houston both playing at the same time because both of those teams, win or losing, could determine the division winner in that one. All right, second Nate. Purdy. Oh, under pressure, and he goes down. Nice. Tell you what, man, Mike McDonald, the head coach for Seattle, man, he is a good defensive coordinator. He was the D coordinator for Baltimore when their defense was lights out. He knows what type of players he needs to fill the positions to run the defense the way he wants to run it. Oh, they got pressure on him again. He dumps it off. Will he make it? No, he is short of a first down. So it's going to be 4th and about 2 yards with San Francisco on their side of the 50, and it looks like they're going to punt. Mm. Nice play. Good tackle to hold him short. Hmm. All right. We've got ourselves a punt fest. So outside of New England now, in this Survivor, I mean, who's the most popular one? I mean, obviously they all have Atlanta available, but it's no gimme that Atlanta's going to beat New Orleans. I mean, I think they're going to win, but I mean, I could certainly make an argument for them not winning, you know, more than I could for like this one entry that's got New England available. I think it's almost a lock. You got to take them. Again, Philly not playing any of their starters, so you can't trust this one. Minnesota is playing their starters, and it looks like a bunch of the uh, Lions players will not be playing. Or no, I'm sorry, who's Minnesota playing? Oh, they're playing Green Bay. Green Bay is not starting a bunch of their players. They're going to be resting a bunch of guys because they are locked into the 7th seed. This is in Minnesota, so you're going to get a friendly crowd. J.J. McCarthy is playing. I believe most of their starters are playing. We'll have to see if guys like Justin Jefferson and their other star players actually play the entire game or not. But I could certainly see this Minnesota Vikings team winning this game, trying to go into the offseason on a high note, give their fans something to look forward to, beat their division rival, even though it has no real bearing on anything, and at least be a moral victory that they could say they didn't lose to them in the last game. So this one entry here could potentially, or these 3 entries here could potentially be on Minnesota, right? One of these ones. I mean, this person right here only has Atlanta, Jacksonville, or Minnesota to choose from. I think the safest bet would probably be to take Jacksonville over Tennessee. They're at home. The Titans have not, although they've looked better at times, they haven't really put together, um, the kind of performance that would make you say, all right, I think they're really starting to find something here. They've been fortunate with non-offensive scores and shit like that in some of these games. But we also see like Cam Ward has a history of fumbling the ball, and that was a costly fumble last week. Jacksonville's defense is playing really good right now. You go Walker. All right, big gain by Kenneth Walker there. So I would imagine this one here of these 3. So you're going to probably have one on Jacksonville. I'd say one on New England. At least 1 or 2 is going to be on Minnesota. 1 will probably be on Tampa Bay. This one only has Tampa Bay and Atlanta available. Tampa Bay at least was at home. Atlanta's on the road. Tampa Bay had something to play for, and they won. So I say 1 Tampa Bay, maybe 1 New England, 1 Jacksonville. I mean, kick your knees up, could take Chicago and, be the only one to win on that game. So probably 1 Chicago. I think there's going to be 2 Tampa Bay, 1 New England, 2 Minnesota, 1 Chicago, and 1 Jacksonville. That's my prediction. And again, Chicago has something to play for. to be a better seed and, play what is the lower seeded team anyway. Whereas, like I said, the Green Bay Packers are resting most of their starters. They're not even starting Malik Willis. They're starting their third string quarterback. They're missing offensive linemen. I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to play. They're missing some of their wide receivers. They're going to be missing guys on defense, I believe, who are also being rested for the playoffs. And like I said, Chicago actually has something to play for, and they're playing good football. And they're getting guys back healthy. It looks like both Odunze and Burden will be back. They're wide receivers. Ooh, nice play. Nice play. Yeah, that is true for Kyle Shanahan. They're saying that their best chance of winning a Super Bowl is to win tonight, because theoretically, if they were to win tonight, they would be the number 1 seed, and then they have home field throughout, and then the Super Bowl is played in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. So as they were talking about, they would be all home games all the way through the Super Bowl. And so the Seahawks commit a false start with 1 second left on the game clock in the first quarter. They could have just they were going to let it run down, and they didn't, or something happened, and now they're. Well, now it is. All right, still 7-0 Seattle. So Seattle has 125 yards of offense in the first quarter, and San Francisco only has 16 yards. 11 minutes and 26 seconds time of possession. They held the ball for almost the entire first quarter. San Francisco's defense is not deep. They don't have depth because of their injuries. The guys that they're playing are guys that were meant to be depth players. They're still good, and they've been playing well, but you can't expect them to play, 70 plays in this game, 80 plays in this game. They'll be gassed, and unless the San Francisco offense can keep up with them, this could become a one-sided affair here pretty soon. Yeah, no first downs in the first quarter. Seahawks have 8 first downs to none for San Francisco. 0 for 2 on third down. They've run 6 total plays in that first quarter. Not great. So who do we think is going to be the top 5? We got about 15 minutes before they release the selections. I'm excited for the million because I want to see who the top players have selected. But I also, I'm excited to see who they're going to take in Survivor in the final week, the 20th week, with 6 remaining entries. And see if there's been any carnage already. Obviously, nobody had Carolina, so they couldn't have lost in that game. But they have Tampa Bay. Somebody could have advanced and guaranteed themselves a portion of that $18.6 million. Our second quarter, Darnold with a nice pass to JSN. Makes a man miss. And, he stepped out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds, or that would have been a touchdown. I like the effort. No, there. No. No. No, there he is. He's definitely stepped out right there. But he got the first down. Boy, he was a heel away from really breaking that for a touchdown. I think he's going to be offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, offensive rookie of the year. Or no, offensive player of the year. He wasn't a rookie this year. What am I saying? Offensive player of the year. I mean, there's some other guys. Christian McCaffrey obviously could be. All right, nice run by Charbonnet. Another first down. All right, I see Bobo on the field, so at least I know he's getting some reps. I know he's getting some reps. Crazy. All right, fakes the pitch, roll out. Darnold looking back like he was going to throw it back to the running back, and now throws it downfield, incomplete. That was like one of those fake toss plays, bootleg, and then you throw it back because all the offensive linemen were out there on the other side of the field, standing by the line of scrimmage. Yeah, and it looks like. Here we go, 2nd and 10. Ball at San Francisco's 26-yard line, already leading 7-0. Now they did not take the field goal earlier on 4th and 5 to the goal, and now he loses yardage. Kenneth Walker loses 4 yards on that play. Nice tackle. I will say, Robert Saleh I don't think he was given. They lose Aaron Rodgers. The first, drive of the first game of his first season with the Jets, when he was a big part of their plans that year. So they were stuck with Zach Wilson, and then, I just don't think he was really given an opportunity to succeed as a head coach. Although I will say some coordinators are just better coordinators than they are head coaches. It's like you should just remain a defensive coordinator for a while. Like, I understand you've had success this year, but you should definitely maybe stick where you're at, because you're having a lot more success and making yourself even more valuable, and maybe learn more about being a head coach. All right, so they're going to line up for the field goal, and it's no good. No good. Missed field goal. And we remain 7-0 Seattle. So we've had a 4th and 5 when they didn't get any points on that drive. And now we've had a missed field goal. So that's at least 6 points that Seattle has left out on the field. Going for it on 4th down on the first drive of the game. Okay, I get it. But now it's starting to get serious, because the longer they let San Francisco hang around in this game, the more confidence they're going to have. I mean, they're just moving the ball at will here. Seattle is, but they can't. They can't get points. 10 first downs, 150 yards, 24 plays to 6 plays, 13 minutes and 58 seconds of possession time to only 334. Only 2 penalties, but 0 for 1 in the red zone. 7 for 9 for 55 yards, while San Francisco 2 for 3 for 11 yards. And yet it's a 7-0 game. Yep, San Francisco 0 for 2 on third down. Seattle 2 for 4. And 0 for 1 on fourth down. So call it 2 for 5 on the conversion downs. All right, there's a little pass to Kittle. World Cup this year. Who's excited for the World Cup? I am. The closest games to me will be in Santa Clara. I believe they're playing at Levi Stadium. And then they bring McCaffrey out of the backfield and then throw him the ball. And here comes the 49ers offense. Seattle just kept on giving them opportunities. So will an NFC West team win the Super Bowl? I mean, you got three opportunities, right? You've got the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Rams. So you've got 3 teams out of the 7 in the NFC. So 3 out of 7 to just make the Super Bowl. And then it's gonna. I mean, I don't know who the real favorite is in the AFC. I don't have any confidence in any of those teams. In that, damn, that was a nice play by Seattle's DB, but no, who is that for San Francisco? He's banged up. Jennings, he gets up. He looked like he took a shot there. Yeah, he just landed hard on that shoulder, but he got up. He almost had it. It was a good play by the Seattle DB because he pulled his arms, didn't let him grab it. Yeah, Jennings definitely feeling that one. Mm. Yeah, that's no good playing with broken ribs. All right, 3rd and 11. Oh, don't let him run. Don't let him run. No, he didn't make it, but he got close. Close enough for them to probably go for it. 3rd and 11. You let him run. You let Brock Purdy run for 10 yards. San Francisco's got to. They've got to create some kind of offensive opportunity. They haven't done anything, so I mean, you got to go for it, right? They've had no first downs. No, they can't put their defense back onto the field here. And you can't kick a field goal, and it's too close to punt. So, challenge play. What's he challenging? The spot on the field. He's gonna back him up a couple yards there. Yeah, that's a challenge. He threw the flag. Well, he was certainly way shorter, that's for sure. Yeah, so they need to challenge. He needs to challenge. Since it's going to cost him a timeout anyway, why not challenge the spot of the ball? Well, that's kind of bullshit, don't you think? What's the point of the expedited review shit? Uh oh, they got pressure on Purdy, and he has to just get rid of it, and it's incomplete, and Seattle is going to stop him on fourth down. What a play by the defense. They brought the house, and Purdy had to throw it up. It was almost completed. It was almost intercepted. It was a 50-50 ball. Didn't have much on it going out towards Juszczyk, and Reek Woolen breaks it up. But what a play by Seattle's defense here. I mean, Seattle's defense has really been the driving force of their success, I would say, over like the last 5 weeks. Because you had Sam Darnold turning the ball over multiple times in some of these games, and the offense in general turning the ball over multiple times in these last few games. And every time they do, the defense just comes out there and shuts down the other team's offense and gets the ball right back. You know, it's like almost like no harm, no foul, because they just come out there, kick the shit out of the opposing team's offense, and get the ball right back to their offense. They're going to be a scary team in the playoffs with you having to go to Seattle and play in that stadium with that home field advantage, which is like one of the rare stadiums that has a true home field advantage when it comes to the noise that the crowd creates and the weather conditions and the travel arrangements, especially if it's like an East Coast team having to go all the way to the Pacific Northwest. Long trip, even though the airplanes they travel on are like luxury airplanes, it's still no fun. It's a lot more convenient to just be at home and go from your home to the stadium on game day than it is to have to leave and home and pack and fly and check into hotels and get situated and do your walkthroughs in the ballroom and then have to get up and go to the stadium the next day. What am I looking for here? All right, let me check this out. Oh, Darnold going deep. JSN with another nice catch. They had two guys on him. Yeah, two guys on him. He was just open. Rashid Shaheed needs a deep shot. Nice tackle. Oof, violent. That was a violent tackle. Only what is it, a 2-yard gain? All right. Kenneth Walker with a decent run, and now it's 3rd and 4. Isn't that amazing that the Bucks were able to win? They got some very, very favorable calls or no calls by the referee, and now suddenly an absolutely meaningless Week 18 game between two teams that have been eliminated from the playoffs forever are going to now have, you know, the say in one of the playoff teams. Like the NFL were able to turn a terrible Week 18 game into maybe the, outside of the Sunday night football game, what'll be probably one of the most watched games on Sunday. A game nobody would have paid any attention to. It would have been on a corner television, just for people who are gambling on it, or maybe have, I don't know, something else going on, but Survivor or some shit. And now that game is going to decide who's going to be the NFC South champion. And it's just kind of funny. Like, I remember when Doug Peterson was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, they were eliminated from the playoffs. And had they won the game, I want to say they were playing Washington, but had they won the game, the New York Giants would make the playoffs. And Doug Peterson just started pulling starters out of the game. And Philadelphia ended up losing that game, and the New York Giants did not make the playoffs. So, and now here you've got two teams that play in the same division as the two teams whose fate they hold in their hands. And, it's like, do you want to win and, get this team an opportunity to be in the playoffs, or do you want to lose and keep a team out of the playoffs, and let another team in? And both sides have to make that decision. It's just very, very unique in football that you could have a situation like that where, two teams who are completely irrelevant in their own seasons are going to determine who the champion is after those two teams have already played their final games of the year. All right, come on, Seattle. Put some more points on the board and maybe throw a touchdown to Jake Bobo. I would love that. Number 19, is he on the field? Where's he at? Is that him at the top of the screen, or is that Cooper? I think it's Cooper. All right, another first down. Ugh, flag. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. And it's on the offense. Back them up. Back them up. Little hook and turn, he said. They must really be planning some kind of a big time show to announce the final selections for Survivor because they still haven't put them up yet. All right. Barner is another guy I have in one of the anytime touchdown score parlays. I have Barner. Yeah, it's never good to have a bunch of anytime touchdown score props, parlays, and only have one touchdown in so far in the first half. I mean, there is still enough time for a possession for San Francisco before the halftime, but I need Seattle to stop settling for field goals and score some damn touchdowns. Oh, he put it up for JSN, but it's broken up. Yeah, that was good defense. There's definitely no penalty on that play. So it's going to bring up 4th and 6. And is Seattle going to bring out their field goal kicker, I assume? I mean, it finally stopped raining in Santa Clara. I am almost directly east of San Francisco, living in Lake Tahoe. And we've been getting snow and rain mix all day today. And it is good. And Seattle is now leading 10-0. With about 5 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the first half. But yeah, we've been getting like a mix of rain and snow. All right, here we go. We've got it. This is the Circa Million selections. And of course, Tampa Bay, the #1 pick, goes down by half a point. Our selection, obviously. And it looks like something I was kind of thinking to myself was what games were going to be the most popular. And since there's so many people already eliminated from the potential to making the money or even winning the quarterly prize, that these games that actually have playoff implications were going to be the most popular games. But so we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, our first loss of the day, as the #1 selection. Number 2 is the big game Sunday Night Football, is the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 3.5. We are on the other side of that with Baltimore minus 3.5. As I said, that game historically has been a good spot for the Steelers as a home dog of more than 3. But I think that the 3.5 was going to make it very popular, so that's why I took Baltimore. Although when we get the full list, I'm sure Baltimore will also have a lot of selections on it as well, as a lot of people are going to be choosing these games that are very popular. And again, the next one is Seattle, minus 1.5. We are on Seattle, minus 1.5. No surprise there that it's a very popular side, and no surprise that San Francisco is the 4th most selected team. That is the third time that I'm pretty sure that's the third time this year where 2 teams from the same game have been in the top 5. One was with the Green Bay Packers and Broncos. One was with the Green Bay Packers and the Bears. And now you've got Seattle and San Francisco. Only 46 more selections on Seattle than on San Francisco, with nearly 3,000 total selections on that side. And then you've got the Los Angeles Rams, another team that is supposed to be playing their starters in that game against an Arizona team that is starting to rest their key players in a game that doesn't mean much to them outside of where they'll be drafting. Oh, penalty on Seattle. That's going to give San Francisco great field position as the ball went out of bounds. Yeah, they're going to get it at the 40-yard line. Wow, that's a big mistake for sure. You just basically gave him the ball at midfield. But yeah, the Rams, I thought about using them as well. I liked the over. It was 46.5 at the time, more than the side. But I can certainly see the appealing side of it because they're supposed to be playing their starters. But will they play the whole game? Will Matthew Stafford play that whole game? Probably not. Will Devontae Adams even play? Probably not. Will Nakua play that entire game? Probably not. But they're going to start the game. Ooh, nice defensive play to start, and they lost yards. Woo. Yeah, you got to watch that. There's microphones everywhere. He might get a letter from the league for that one. He definitely used that no. And the microphones picked that up clear as day. Yeah, that was they threw it underneath the Kittle and he just there was nowhere to go. 2nd and 16 now. Oof. So yeah, no, I'm not really too surprised. And it's kind of nice that at least we're on one of the sides. Well, I guess it doesn't matter with Seattle and San Francisco because one side or the other, they're both in the top 5. But then we're on the other side of Pittsburgh with the Baltimore selection. We've also got Cleveland plus the 7.5. In Atlanta minus the 3.5. I could see that Atlanta game being decided by 3, but I definitely think they're going to win the game. All right, Purdy escapes the rush and finds his man, and he's out of bounds with a first down to Jennings. Let's see if they've got the Survivor. Not yet. They're probably doing the show. That's why. Let me check. Okay, so yeah, we've got the full list up now. We can check the selections as well for the leaderboard. We'll probably do that after halftime, though, just because that way we can use a little bit of more time. But we've got the overall picks. Bucks were a big favorite, as obviously is the number 1 selection, and they lost against the spread, won outright by 2 points. Of course, the line was 2.5. That's been my whole season. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of games I've lost this year by the hook or, by 1 point. Or by a late score that did nothing in the game but changed the outcome of the spread. Ooh, watch it. And he checks it down to Kittle, but Kittle catches it and gets the first down. They had some heat on Brock Purdy there, but he got it to George Kittle, and he gains enough for the first down. Vikings, big favorites against the Packers here. A lot more people are believing in J.J. McCarthy than I think it's Toon is the backup quarterback for the Packers. It's like some guy I've never even heard of. Colts and Texans, not a lot of action on this one. The Colts are going with Riley Leonard, the rookie quarterback. I don't think that's very fair to him. You didn't trust him when Daniel Jones went down, right, to fill in for him, even though you drafted him and you've had him in training camp and he's been, taking some reps, I'm sure, running the practice squad, whatever he's been doing. You didn't trust him enough to put him in there. You went out and brought in an old 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, who hadn't played in years. And now that you're officially eliminated from the playoffs, you're going to throw this young quarterback out against arguably one of the best pass rushes, one of the better defenses in the NFL. Seattle's pretty damn good too. So are the Rams, but the Texans defense is right up there. Any one of them could be considered the top, and they're great at rushing the passer. And you're going to put this rookie quarterback out there against him? Why didn't you just let Phillip Rivers play one more game? I mean, he's not injured. He's not hurt. He's played okay. I mean, they've been in most of their games that he started, although they didn't win any of them. But I just don't understand the rationale behind all of a sudden you're going to put this rookie quarterback in a game, a meaningless game against one of the better defenses that actually has a reason to play well. Like, the Texans are going to really try to whip the Colts' ass, because if they win this game, the Jags lose, they are the AFC South champs and they get a home game instead of having to go on the road as a wild card. So I just don't understand it, and I don't like it. I don't think it's very. And they'd be like, oh, we want to see what we've got, with him. Well, you should have done that when you still had a chance, when you could have still made the playoffs. You should have done that earlier in this season than putting him in the final game of the year. I just don't like it. Patriots and Dolphins, no surprise here again. People just don't like double-digit spreads in the contest. They tend to avoid them. And as you can see, double-digit spread, just not a lot of faith in either side. More on the Patriots, though, and obviously the Patriots have a reason to play hard and win this game, play their starters for the full game, because if they win and the Broncos lose, they are the number one seed. They get the first round bye. If the Broncos win and the Patriots win, then the Broncos are, stay the number one seed, but they could still advance up and get the number one seed, get home field throughout, and then that first round bye. So Patriots have all the reason in the world to play hard. Dolphins, they've already booked their vacations. Not surprised nobody really wants much to do with that game. All right. Yeah, the 49ers got to take advantage of this scoring opportunity before the halftime, or they're going to be in deep trouble. They do get the ball to start the second half, though, because Seattle did start the game with the ball. Bengals and Browns. We are on the Browns, plus 7.5. Not sure who's playing for the Bengals, but this is just a disappointing season for them all the way around. This is a team that was considered a playoff contender, potential Super Bowl contender, who's been in the playoffs the last few seasons, and this is just a complete letdown spot for them. So it's hard to – look at this gimmickry. It's hard to really get up for a game like this for the Bengals. While the Browns, a lot of these players, they're competing for their spots on the team next year. You still have the sack record with Myles Garrett, so the defense is probably going to play well. It is a division game. Kevin Stefanski's still competing, or trying to keep his job, as his seat gets hotter and hotter by the week, as they've had very disappointing seasons over his tenure. I think they had the 1 year when Baker Mayfield and the Browns made the playoffs, but other than that, they just have not had much success under his regime. Will he be the coach next year? I'm sure the way they play in this game will have a say in that. Oh, nice play. Nice play. If Reed doesn't trip Brock Purdy there with his hand, not his foot. He grabbed his foot, though, and tripped him. Brock Purdy gets the first down. He was scrambling out of the pocket, and there was nobody ahead of him. He would have got it, and he just reached out and grabbed him. Nice play there. Cowboys and Giants. I said it before. I think the Cowboys are the right side here, and the reason why is the New York Giants are the number 2 pick right now. They did win that game last week against the Raiders, although I really think the Raiders threw that game because they're tanking for the number 1 pick. Giants are number 2. Cowboys aren't even in the top 10. They do have some draft picks coming to them, I believe, right? Or no, they traded away their draft picks. No, they got draft picks for Micah Parsons, right? And then they traded him for Quinn and Williams. So whatever, but I know the Cowboys don't have a top 10 pick. But the Giants aren't going to try to ruin. And the 49ers finally get on the scoreboard with an Eddie Pinheiro field goal. And it is now 10-3 Seattle with 1:06 to go in the second quarter. But I just think the Giants are not trying to win this game. And because even if they don't, because having the number 1 pick, I think obviously everybody thinks it's going to be Mendoza, the quarterback for the Raiders. But the Giants already have their quarterback in Jackson Dart. They have Malik Neighbors. They need offensive line help. They need secondary help. Could they trade that number 2 draft pick to a quarterback needy team and get more draft capital to fill those needs that they have, that where those players can be found a little bit further down in the draft, as opposed to being in the top 5, where you're more than likely taking either a quarterback or a stud defensive lineman or a stud offensive tackle, like a defensive end or an offensive tackle. More an offensive tackle is probably number 2 right behind the quarterback as far as who they're going to draft. And then maybe a wide receiver if they're really, really, really good. But I don't know exactly who the top choices are in this upcoming draft. Again, I'm not a huge college football fan. Like, I do watch, but I don't study it religiously. I wait until all the draft projections come out, and then I start to do my due diligence through that. But I just really think the Giants, they have no reason to win this game. I think the Cowboys are the right side here. Commanders and Eagles, again, a lot of people on the Eagles, but the Eagles are starting their 3rd-string quarterback, and a bunch of starters are going to be out for them as well. Meanwhile, the Commanders, a lot of these guys that are going to be playing are going to be looking to secure their spot on the roster next year. So this is a difficult spot for the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, and down goes Darnold. At least he didn't fumble. Saints and Falcons. Again, we are on the Falcons. The Falcons are the contrarian side, as the Saints got a little more than 170 or so more entries on them than on the Falcons. And this is for the NFC South champion that neither one of these teams will be in. This game will determine the champion by 2 teams who already played today. Incredible. Oh, a little check down by Darnold, and A.J. Barner at least turns it into a positive gain. I don't know. It's 3rd down. They don't have any timeout, so I guess this is an all or nothing Hail Mary play right here. Throw it down to the end zone. Oh, they're going to let the clock run out. Rams, we've talked about this game. Starters versus whatever. Broncos, the Chargers are resting a bunch of their players, but again, double-digit spreads. Look how low the amount of picks on both sides are. And again, Titans and Jags, another double-digit spread with a team that needs to win to keep their division title hopes alive, or to seal their division titles, and a team in the Titans who have nothing to play for and are just trying to build a culture. Don't even know if this is going to be their head coach next year. But we are going to take a quick break, as it is now halftime, and we will be back for the second half of this game between Seattle and the 49ers, and we will take a look not only at the Survivor entries, but also the selections by the top entries in the Circa Million contest. So we will be right back. Okay, folks, we are back. We are back for the third quarter. And we have the Circa Survivor selections for the final week, the final week, the 20th week. And I was pretty close. I was off by one, I believe, of what I thought the picks were going to be. Oop. Here they are. No one was on the Bucks. I thought one person would be on the Bucks because there was four entries that had them, and I thought one person might use them, but they did not. Now there is one on the Bengals, which I could have swore I heard it was going to be Joe Flacco playing at quarterback. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just a bold spot to be in. If it's gonna, I mean, Joe Flacco, he has had some okay games when he came in and played, but this Browns defense is pretty good. One on the Patriots, that was the one person that had the Patriots available. One on the Jags, that was the one that had that available. There's one on the Falcons, which everyone had. Every single entry, the final six had the option of choosing Atlanta. This person went out on a limb and picked the Falcons to win. And then you had, I believe, three entries could have chosen the Vikings, and two of them did. So, and now let me see if I can find this. Yeah, here it is. Let me pull this up real quick because this is good stuff. So Jeffrey Benson, if you're not aware, he's one of the head management of the Circa Sports book in Las Vegas, and he just tweeted out 3 minutes ago, biggest Circa Survivor hedge we've ever taken came in last night. $700,000 on the Packers money line. Packers are playing the Vikings. So one of the Vikings entries is hedging their bet. Money line on the Packers at plus 355. So if they were to lose that game with their Viking selection, they would still lock in $2.5 million payday. And then it also says a healthy $10,000 bet on a tie at 60 to 1. Just covering all bases there. Because a tie in the Survivor is a loss. That's actually a very smart maneuver by them to cover all bases there. But yeah, so one of these two Vikings entries hedged their Vikings entry for 700K. Now, if they were to win with the Vikings, and let's say all six of them advance, right now they're looking at 3.1 million. So they would essentially get the same. No matter which way they go, they're going to get somewhere around 2.5, 2.6 million dollars as a payday. So well played by that individual or individuals who are on the Vikings, and it's Juicy Quinchy and Kick Your Knees Up. Both use the Vikings. I like the Jags. I like the Patriots because both teams are playing all their starters against teams that are not good and, just a bad situation for them. They're not going to want to go into the offseason injured, their defense. And defense takes more effort. So I think those are two good spots there. I do like the Vikings there. I mean, they're 8.5-point favorites. They're starting the third string quarterback, and a bunch of the starters for the Packers aren't playing. The Falcons, I like the Falcons to win this game. I've said that already. Now, could I see the Saints winning this game? Yes, I could. if this was me, I was in that situation. I don't think I would. I don't think I could use Atlanta there if I had better options than that. But if they do win and something strange happens with some of these other games, I mean, they're looking at $18.6 million. So, all right, here we go. Nice return by Shaheed. Nice return by Shaheed as the Seahawks force a punt, and now they've got the ball after that first possession by the 49ers after halftime doesn't do anything. But yeah, big, a lot of people going to be interested in the outcome of these games tomorrow. As I mean, that's life-changing money, and if anybody loses, right now you're looking at 3.1 million plus. And then if people start dropping out, if there's any losses, let's say the Packers win or the Browns win or the Saints win, the Titans win, I mean, you start looking at a massive increase to your winnings. So congratulations to everybody. Best of luck. Take some antacid, some Tums, whatever it is you need. Get into your watching zone, whatever it is that you've been doing all year when you've been watching the games during Survivor, whatever your entry was. Just rinse and repeat. Don't change it up. Don't change up the formula now. But good luck to everybody on that one, man. That's huge. Huge money. 3.119667. So $3,119,667 is what each one of these 6 remaining entries will earn if they all make it through to the next or the final week. Make it through the final week. I remember the one year in Survivor, they had it where if you used one of the 2 teams that played in the prior Super Bowl in the final week of the year, you won like an extra $1 million, but they don't do that. They didn't do that, I think, this year. But all right, man, that's huge. Like I said, the $2.8 million hedge on that on the outcome of that game. Now, we'll take a look at this real quick. We've got the leaderboard here. Now, it's not up for week 18. This is week 17. But what we do have is the PDF. And let me enlarge this for the Circa contest. And we can go through here very quickly. Look it up. Coin hop. Let me just make sure I have the right one. Oops. Coin hop 1. So it's the first entry. Damn it. So right here, coin hop 1. Ooh, already lost one. Bucks minus 2.5. Already 0-1 in week 18. The leader, 0-1. Also on the Seahawks minus 1.5. We are on them as well. Miami Dolphins plus 10.5 in a game where the New England Patriots are looking to win and maybe give themselves a chance at the number 1 seed. They always have a difficult time in Miami. I will say that. That's one thing I recognized about games or this particular matchups in week 18, that the Miami Dolphins always give the New England Patriots a tough time. And I want to say, let me look. So I had the over 45.5 in the early line show. But again, plus 10.5, it seems like the right side. Giants plus 3.5. Ugh, man, that's a tough one because I know that they are not looking to win, and the Dallas Cowboys probably are. And then the Titans plus 13. So the Titans, Giants, Dolphins, and Seahawks is who the number 1 selection has in week 18. Now, Bruiser, 1226, it's their 3rd entry, so we can scroll on down to Bruiser. BR. Bruiser 3. And they've got the Vikings minus 8.5. Patriots plus 10.5. So they're head to head on that one with the number 1. Bears minus 3. I kind of like that one now that I know that Detroit's missing a bunch of their starters. The Bengals minus 7.5. We are head to head with them. And then they've also got the Jags minus 13. So there's two games where the number 1 and number 2 entry are contrarian to each other. Because the other entry for CoinHop 1, who is the leader, had Miami, and they also had the Titans plus 13, which I believe it's, plus 13 in the contest. So here we go. And they haven't lost anything yet. CoinHop's already 0-1, so the best they can do is 4-1 this week. So it already opens the door for the teams that are, or the entries that are behind, and they're a 1.5 behind. So they needed to gain at least a 1.5 to even catch them and tie for first. Let's check out Rex Golf. It's number 4. They have 56 points. Let's scroll on down to Rex Golf. There we go. R-E. Rex Golf 4, I want to say it was, right? Yeah. Rex Golf 4. Bucks minus 2.5. Already lost 1. 0-1. They're already 1 down, and they've only got 56 points. They're 2.5 points behind the number 1 entry. And they are already 0-1. So is the number 1 entry. So they haven't gained any more ground on them. But Seahawks minus 1.5. I think they're on the same side on that, so that's not good for them. Ravens minus 3.5. We are on that as well. Falcons minus 3.5. We are on that as well. They're not taken by the 1 or 2 entry. And then again, Jags minus 13. Bruiser has the Jags. CoinHop number 1 has the Titans. So they are definitely head to head on those ones. Sean's Dolphins. Sean's Dolphins 3. Right here. Patriots minus 10.5. They are contrarian with number 1, and they are on the same side as the number 2 entry. Raiders plus 5.5. Nobody so far has had them. Bears minus 3. Somebody had them. Giants plus 3.5. They also had them. And then the Commanders plus 4. So they're going to have a hard time gaining ground, although there are some losses by the number 1 and number 3 entry. So the potential for a 5-0 here is there, but the other side is going to gain some points as well. 1867 flex number 4. That's going to be at the very top. Oh, nice play by the defense. Here we go. 1867 flex. What did I say? 4. So 1867 4. Bucks already lost 1. Seattle minus 1.5. They are on the same side as many of the leaders above them. That's not good for them because if Seattle wins or loses, no matter what, everybody gains or does not gain a point. It only allows the people behind them to catch them and pass them. And these guys right now could potentially fall down even farther in the paid positions. Vikings minus 8.5. We've seen that. Colts plus 10.5. That's a first. And then the Bengals minus 7.5. We've seen one of the leaders above them. So I believe they are on a couple of the same sides as the people above them here, as we haven't gotten the Week 18 update to Fantasy Super Contest yet. Potato Commish, friend of the show, has been doing great this year. Had a tough little stretch, but has bounced back with a 3-2 last week. And so let's go ahead and check out who Potato Commish has in this week. Oh, there we go. PO. Potato Commish, just the one entry. Seahawks -1, so they are on the same side as some of the people above them. Lions +3, contrarian to the couple of Chicago entries we've seen so far. We haven't seen a Lions entry. Bengals -7.5. That's been one we've seen. Saints +3.5. First time we've seen that. One person, I believe, was on Atlanta as well. And then the Jaguars again, -13. So Jaguars are a popular side with everyone other than the leader, CoinHop, right now. As CoinHop was the only one I've seen so far, I believe, with the Tennessee Titans. We'll go through the top 9 here. We've got Money Guns for MN. Money Guns 4, I believe I said right. Yeah. Money Guns 4 bucks, already lost one. Already losing ground to the people behind you. Those 5-0s, 4-1s could leapfrog you. It's happened to me. Bears -3. That was a popular side. We've only seen one person with the Lions, and that was Potato Commish. And I like I don't know. I like the Bears, but I could see that game being a 3-point game because Detroit's missing a bunch of their starters. Ravens -3.5. We've seen this picked a few times. I don't think we've seen any Steelers though. No one's backing the Steelers +3.5, and we are on Ravens -3.5 as well. Bengals -7.5. This is a popular side, and I am on the Cleveland Browns +7.5. So if my side wins, we're going to see a bunch of these leaders not scoring points, and the people that are below them are going to be able to advance up and increase their payouts. And then finally, the Rams -7, which I think is a popular side. It was in the top 5 selection, so it's going to be very popular. It was the 5th selection. That's right. It was the 5th most selected entry. Tubu Shooters 1. All right. Tubu Shooters 1. So it's the only one they've got. And they've already lost one with the Bucks. Everybody's on the Bucks and the Seahawks. It's the same selections I had. We already lost one with the Bucks winning by 2. So there is already a window opening for people to move up with a lot of these top entries in the top 10 at least. Losing the first game of the day. Everybody's back in the Bucks. Seahawks -1.5 again. That's us as well. Vikings -8.5. We've seen a few of them. We haven't seen anyone on the Packers. First time anyone's chosen the Steelers. This is a spot where this person could certainly move up in the contest because I've only seen Baltimore Ravens entries, and if they win this one, that means they gain a point while the people ahead of them drop a point. Ooh, nice tackle. It would have been a first down, but he had to go back. And then, where was it? And then they also have the Bengals -7.5, which is very popular. So win or lose that one, it's not going to really help them much because almost everybody in the top 10 seem to have the Bengals in their selections. And as I've mentioned before, I'm on the Browns this week. Wink 1. Wink 1 right here. Vikings -8.5. Again, we've seen that. All right, another person on the Colts +10.5. We've seen one or two of those. I think it was just one. And then again, one person on the Raiders +5.5. I mean, hey, Go for it, right? It's Adolakun or whatever for the Chiefs, and they've already pulled a bunch of their guys. So, but I just don't think the Raiders are trying to win. They want the number one selection. That's a hard sell for me to want to use the Raiders in this situation, knowing that they are not trying to win. They may compete for 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, they're not gonna take fourth down risks. They're gonna be punting the ball on 4th and 1 at the fucking Kansas City 45-yard line. I mean, you're gonna see some weird shit come out of the Raiders in that fourth quarter to not win that game. Could they cover the spread? Certainly, but I don't see them getting a victory. The only way they get a victory if somehow Odulakun throws like 2 pick sixes or like a pick six and another interception that leads to points, and then maybe a fumble or something. Like they're gonna have like multiple turnovers, and the Raiders are gonna have to play, turnover free, mistake free football, which I just don't see that happening in order to win that game. Lions +3. All right, so they are the second one in the top 9 entries. To have the Lions, where there was several that have the Bears, so that's gonna flip the top 10. That Bears Lions game is gonna have a lot of significance in who moves up and down in this top 9 entries right here. And then Commanders +4, first one I think we've seen in this top 9 of the standings right now. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look. I want to see what Fezzik's got. As I've said, he's somebody I watch. He's on BetUS. He's on VSiN, which is, they do work with Circa. They're in the Circa. Their booth where they record is in the Circa. This is where I get the announcements from on X. Is from the VSiN site. That's where they do their announcement show. Let's go ahead and take a look at Fezzik, though. He's also on he's on US Bet, and then he's on the VSiN show on YouTube as well. So definitely check him out. Like I said, I watch him. I wish I would have paid more attention to what he was talking about, though. Maybe I could have been in the money as well this year, as opposed to battling just to be above 500. Let me see which one it was. It's Fezzik 3. So yeah, because he has all 5 entries. So he's already 0-1. 0-1 on the Bucks. Everybody was on the Bucks. He's also on Seattle -1.5. Then on the Patriots -10.5, which is popular. There's a few in the people above him. Bills -7. First one I've seen of that. And then the Rams -7 is also been chosen by 1 or 2 entries. But he pretty much went the same selections in every entry except for one, where he swapped out the Jaguars for the Rams, or the Jaguars for the Patriots. And again, a lot of the entries in the top 10 have the Jaguars. So, and there's only one that has the Titans, and that's the number 1 entry so far. That game's going to have a lot of significance in the standings as well. And then let's go ahead and take one more look at our friend Scrim67, who is in 23rd place, 52.5 points. So can't really catch the leaders, but can certainly improve their paid position. What was it again? That is his one pick. Scrim67. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Ooh, already lost one. He's already down 1 with the Bucks -2.5. Man, them Bucks really fucked everybody, myself included. Lions +3. Now we've got a few more Lions. They're about equal with the Bears, so that game's going to have significance in how this contest shakes out, because you're going to have people rising and falling based on the outcome of that game. Commanders +4. Cardinals +7. That's contrarian to a couple of entries to have the Rams, so that could potentially be a way to gain a spot. And then another one on the Titans. So if the Titans happen to cover that 13, that's going to help, because a lot of the other entries above him have the Jaguars. But all right. Who else do we want to check out? And he does a little childish shit. Mushes the dude in the face. All right, so Seattle is moving the ball. We're still stuck at 10-3. Darnold checks it down. Charbonnet with another first down. We got a timeout. Injury timeout. Yep, injury timeout for the San Francisco 49ers player who is down. All right. Week 18 selection show. Live stream right here on YouTube. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We will be doing shows for the playoffs. We are also live streaming for the Sunday night football game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and recapping the day's action, to discuss, what other matchups we've got in the playoffs, because the winner of that game is going to be the number 4 spot in the AFC, so it's not like they can move up or down, to determine who they're going to be playing. So we'll know who the opponent will be of the winner of the AFC North by the time that game starts. But I'm looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to that Atlanta-New Orleans game now. Oh, and he knocks it down. Batted it down. Sam Darnold's pass gets knocked down, and it's 2nd and 10. But I'm looking forward now to the Atlanta Falcons Saints game, a game I probably wouldn't have paid much attention to otherwise if it didn't have any playoff implications in it. Now it's going to be one of the most watched games of the morning slate. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interested folks right here with the Vikings, Patriots, Bengals, Falcons, and Jaguars as the 5 teams with six entries for $18.6 million in the Circa Survivor contest. Charbonnet with a short gain on 2nd and 10, and it's going to be 3rd and long here for Seattle. Boy, I picked a hell of a game to have multiple anytime touchdown scoring parlays. We've had 1 touchdown in 3 quarters of football. I mean, the 49ers defense, they just play really good, even though they don't get pressure on the quarterback, really. They don't get sacks. They get pressure. They don't get sacks. Oh, what happened? Oh, there's the flag. Rashid Shaheed was freaking out. It was an incomplete pass on 3rd and 8, but they're going to call pass interference. He grabbed him. And that's an automatic first down for Seattle. Oh, yeah, he definitely had him. He tried to. You know what bothers me, though? I know he's trying to sell the pass interference, but at the same time, you need to still be trying to make the catch. He's throwing his arms up in a dramatic fashion to get the referee's attention. And the ball hits him. And Kenneth Walker with a loss on first down. And it is now 2nd and 12. He's actually been a good addition to the San Francisco 49ers. White, the guy they got from the Patriots, he's been a good addition. Oh, a little shovel pass underneath inside to Charbonnet. He got about half of it back. And we are in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter. Fourth quarter. Come on, Seahawks. Come on, Seattle. I need you to win this game. That way, at least I don't lose anything. I'll break even on my touchdown parlays. Seeing as how not doesn't look like any of them are going to hit, because the 3 that I have, none of them had Charbonnet. I had one 49er and one Seahawk in all 3. So who do we think is going to win the Super Bowl? I honestly do think it's going to be one of these NFC West teams. Especially if the way it shakes out that Seattle makes it through the first round. Or right now it's Seattle that would make it through the first round. Whoever wins this game, one of them, will have the automatic bye. And if it shakes out where they don't have to face each other until at least the NFC Championship game, one of them is going to end up being the representative in the Super Bowl for the NFC. And then you've got the AFC. Let's just say right now it's the Broncos. The Broncos should beat the Chargers since the Chargers are resting all their bunch of their key guys, including Justin Herbert. I mean, I think they're, 13.5-point favorites or 10.5-point favorites, whatever it was. Big number, though. So you'd have New England playing the 7th seed. And you're going to have Jacksonville playing more than likely Jacksonville playing the 6th seed. And then you're going to have Baltimore or Pittsburgh playing the 5th seed. Like, who makes it out of the AFC? Who's the representative of the AFC? Oh, and Buffalo. I honestly think it's probably going to be Buffalo. I think Buffalo is the 5th seed, right? So Buffalo's going to play Pittsburgh or Baltimore in their home stadium. And you're going to have Houston. Sam Darnold gives ground, dumps it off to Barner, short gain. Let me see something real quick. I want to check this out. All right, Seattle's going to try to kick another field goal here. So actually, the way it is right now, Buffalo is the 7th seed, then the Chargers, Houston, Pittsburgh 4, Jacksonville, and New England. Let's say everybody wins the games as they should, all but Pittsburgh, because I think Baltimore is going to win that game. Chargers lose, Buffalo wins. They would move up to 6. Chargers drop to 7. Houston stays at 5. So it would be New England versus the Chargers, Jacksonville versus Buffalo, and Pittsburgh versus Houston. Let's see how that goes. I think New England probably wins that game. I'm going to go with Buffalo and then Houston. I think it's Buffalo. Maybe Houston, even, depending on how it shakes out. I don't think New England's going to make it all the way to the AFC Championship game. I mean, they could maybe make it to the AFC Championship game, but I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl. I just don't think. I think they're ahead of schedule. Same thing with the Broncos. The Broncos, they can be very inconsistent. Their offense can be clunky, and their defense can be penalty prone. They are good at rushing the passer. They do get sacks. But remember, that big, giant number that they have, a lot of those sacks came early in the season when they were playing garbage teams and they were getting like 8, 9 sacks a game and shit. That's why they have the potential to set the record, but probably not for an entire season. I think as they said, it's the 1984 Bears, the year before they won the Super Bowl, who have the record at like 70 something sacks in a season, and the Broncos have like 64, and I think it's 73 is the record. But yeah, I mean Buffalo and Houston, because Houston's offense has come alive, and the defense has been solid all year. The offense has come alive. What's up with Tank Dell? Is that dude ever going to be back from injury? I know he got hurt late in the year, but damn, like he still hasn't gotten. He's still not able to play. It sucks. He would be a great addition to their team right now. But the other guys are playing good. That Jaden, I think it's Jaden Daniels or Jalen Higgins or something. The wide receiver, the number 2 behind Nico Collins, is pretty good. He's showing out. They got a good tight end. Their offensive line's played better. They don't really have a great running game, but it's serviceable. But their defense is phenomenal. It'd be an interesting matchups we're going to have coming up here in the playoffs, as I expect there to be several um, home dogs in the upcoming 2025-26 playoffs. I couldn't believe what they're predicting for the Rams and the Panthers, if that's what it ends up being, if Atlanta does in fact win tomorrow. I said it was like it would be -4.5, I want to say it was. They had it -9.5 at FanDuel. The Panthers beat the Rams earlier this year, and they're 9.5 point home favorites. Yeah, I actually said -3.5 against the Rams and -3 against San Francisco. All right, I didn't adjust that. My bad. He made it. Eddie Pinheiro made the field goal, and we are sitting at 13-3 now, 10 point lead for the Seattle Seahawks here. We are on the Seattle Seahawks, both -1.5 in Circa, and it's the second leg of my money line parlay for Saturday. I already got the first leg with the Bucks, even though I lost in the millions, minus the 2.5. Ooh, and Purdy scrambles for a first down on whatever that down was. And they are moving the ball here early in the fourth quarter. You knew they weren't going to give in, and the fact that Seattle kept giving up those points, the missed field goal, the fourth down failed conversion on the first drive of the game, all those points could be giving them a much bigger lead right now. And now the 49ers offense is coming alive here in the fourth quarter. Hand off to McCaffrey. About 5 yards on that one. 4 yards. Telling you, if the 49ers score on this drive, we might have an overtime game. And there he is, Demarcus Robinson, another first down. Uh-oh, we got a little something going on the sideline there with Jennings over on the Seattle sideline, but no flag, so let's not do anything stupid. It's a close game. You get an unsportsmanlike right now and lose 15 yards, your team down 10 points. That is not something a guy that just got a new contract extension should be doing. A little physical there, both holding each other and blocking each other out of bounds. And this is Seattle, San Francisco. There is a history between these two teams being division rivals and the physicality between these two teams. I mean, they literally construct their rosters to beat one another. Going deep, Purdy, and he finds his man. Is that Robinson again? No, Jennings. I like these jerseys. The font on the numbers for the 49ers is pretty cool. It's like some Wild Western billboard style for the 49ers. All right, second and goal. Throw it to Tungus. I know Bobo's not going to get one, but throw it to Tungus. Throw it to Kittle or have Brock Purdy run it in himself. That would be a nice one too if Brock Purdy would run it in for himself by himself because he's I have him as the 49er side in my anytime touchdown parlays. Oh, it's intercepted by Seattle. Oh my goodness, what a play. I think it got tipped and went right to the number 42 for Seattle. Interception. What a drive killer. They were going to McCaffrey. And who tipped that? Maffei. Maffei got a thumb on it. Just enough. Oh, and then it bobbles off of McCaffrey's hands right into the hands of the Seattle defender. What a turn. Oh, man, that's brutal. Yep, Maffei got a finger on it, which kind of took some steam off it. McCaffrey had to reach back for the ball instead of having it out in front, and it goes right off his hands into the hands of the Seattle defender. Yep, right there. You see the ball start wobbling. And is that Thomas, 42? All right, Seattle with the ball now, 10-21 on the clock, but they're on their own 4-yard line, so you got to be careful here. You very easily give the ball right back to San Francisco in great field position. But what a turn of events on that play. From what was second and goal, where I assumed it was going to be a 3-point game, to now Seattle with possession of the ball, an opportunity to chew up more clock. Man, the general manager there, Seattle's got some serious armpit sweat going on. I don't blame him. I mean, I'd be pretty damn nervous too. But he must be sweating through his undershirt. Man, that thing's got to be soaked if his outer shirt's that wet. All right, JSN with a first down. Out of bounds, but they keep the possession of the ball, keep that clock moving. 10-point lead for Seattle. Let's go. At least they're away from their own end zone. They won't get like a holding call in the end zone or some shit that gives San Francisco cheap points, free points. Or even worse, a strip sack or some shit like that that give them a touchdown. Now they've got room. Sam Darnold, third quarterback with 4,000 yards passing and 25 passing touchdowns in Seattle history, only behind the immaculate Geno Smith and one Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, I could have seen that, but Geno, I mean, he did have some couple good years there. He had some good receivers to throw to as well. He just kept throwing interceptions in the red zone like he still does. All right, Darnold moving out of the pocket, out to his right, keeps it, gets to the sideline, and gains about 4 or 5 yards there. It'll be 3rd and 2. Gain of 6, okay. 3rd and 2 at their own 25-yard line, but that clock keeps ticking. If they get another first down here, man, that's another, whatever it is, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes off the clock, as long as they don't throw an incompletion. All right, they've got men in motion now. Bring Charbonnet into the backfield. He's in shotgun. Darnold, 3rd and 2. Cup comes in. Three bunch to the right, to the left. Darnold finds his man. It is Cooper Kupp with a huge catch on 3rd down to convert that to a 1st down. Now we got another timeout. We have another injured player for the San Francisco. You get hit in the ding-ding? I hope that's it. I hope he just got hit in the nuts. But that's a huge conversion for Seattle there, as they are leading by 10 points and just they've been chewing clock up this entire game. They have 54 plays to only 38 plays for San Francisco. And they've got the ball for 30 minutes and 54 seconds to 21-43 for San Francisco. I mean, at least San Francisco's been able to control the ball a little bit better than they did early, because they were getting just the entire quarter was being gone with the Seattle maintaining possession of the ball. 145 yards rushing, though. 29 attempts, 5 yards an attempt. But they're 0-2 in the red zone. San Francisco 0-1. And San Francisco only has, they're getting 4.4 yards a run, but they've only run it 12 times for 53 yards. Again, they've only got 38 plays. 2 for 8 on 3rd down to 5 for 10 for Seattle. Both of them 0-1 on 4th downs. Total yards 296 to 169. And right now, Seattle has one more drive than San Francisco, 8-7, which is right now the possession of the ball. So 19 first downs to 9 first downs. Definitely a dominant performance. Only 4 penalties on Seattle, 3 penalties on San Francisco. So not a lot of penalties in this game, which is good. The fact that I haven't been complaining about the refs means it's been a good game. Passing game, though, 18 of 23, but only 151 yards, 6 yards per pass for Seattle. Basically identical numbers on the completions, but only 116 yards for 4.5 yards per pass. And San Francisco has the 1 interception, 1 turnover in this game. All right. What are they going to do? What about that college football game, the last one, Georgia, Ole Miss? That was a hell of a game, wasn't it? That was good. I enjoyed that game a lot. The other games were all blowouts. I think 2 teams, Texas Tech got shut out, and the other team, I don't think Alabama scored or didn't. They didn't score much. I think they only scored like 3 points or something. It was a bad game. Indiana beat their ass. And go Hurricanes. Go Canes. I like to see the Florida team succeed, especially like Miami, a team I rooted for as a kid growing up in Florida. It goes Miami, Florida, South Florida, then Florida State. That's how I'll root for them. All right, Kenneth Walker with another big gain. First down to first down. That's how you do it. Yeah, the 49ers defense is getting gassed, man. They were on the field so much in that first half, and now here we are. The Seattle offensive line is just imposing their will on them, and they're running the ball. You're seeing the Achilles heel being exposed by this 49ers on this 49ers defense by Seattle. Play action. And he dumps it off over the middle to Charbonnet. And a decent gain on first down for 6 yards. 2nd and 4, and that clock keeps ticking. And it's a 2-possession lead right now. If Seattle scores a touchdown, it's a wrap. If they score a field goal, there's still life. As it would be still a 2-possession game. Touchdown makes it a 3-possession game. That's it. Only at the San Francisco 42, though. But again, they started backed up in their own area. So for them to move the ball out this far, starting in their own 5-yard line. Another first down for Seattle. And they just keep that clock rolling because with no incomplete passes, that clock's just going to keep ticking away. Another play actions. Bootleg, and Darnold throws it. It was tipped, but out of bounds. It was almost intercepted by San Francisco, but he didn't have his feet in bounds. That could have been a game-changing play. He way overthrew JSN. He got one. Well, let's see when he gets possession. No. When he finally gets possession, he's clearly out of bounds. But, especially because when it went off Jackson Smith and Jigba's hands, it actually kind of tipped back in bounds, where if he didn't touch him at all, it would have just went right past everybody out of bounds. All right, now here's Seattle. Nothing on 2nd down. Now they're going to be facing a difficult decision. San Francisco calls a timeout, trying to save time. 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this, what's been a defensive battle between these two NFC West rivals. Again, we have Seattle on the money line, and minus 1.5 in Circa. Already down 1 game with Tampa Bay winning by 2 when the line was minus 2.5. Just disgusting. Disgusting. Again, nobody in Survivor is on either San Francisco or Seattle. No one had them available to them, either team. So no consequences to this game. No one was on Tampa Bay either, or Carolina. They had Tampa Bay available but did not take them. No one had Carolina. So tomorrow, the Circa Survivor, $18.6 million will be decided. 6 remaining entries. I can't wait till they release the documentary that they do. VEASAN, they hire the film crew to create a documentary about the Survivor over the year, and they put it all together after the end of the season. Darnold scrambling out of the pocket again. Throws it over to Cooper Kupp. Kupp down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line of San Francisco. What a play by Sam Darnold and the always reliable Cooper Kupp. I mean, he was always Matthew Stafford's security blanket, and now he sees his quarterback scrambling, starts moving to the right. Darnold finds him. Nice play by Cooper Kupp. San Francisco called another timeout. And they run it with Charbonnet for 3 yards. San Francisco is going to call their third and final timeout as they try to conserve as much clock as possible while also keeping Seattle out of the end zone. Because, again, any touchdown here puts this game out of reach. It would take an entire ridiculous amount of different events to happen for them to be able to score points like that. I'll tell you what though, I like the way the stadium looks in Seattle. When I was there working, but they it was during the summer, so there was no football games going on. I went to a Mariners game, which is right across the street from where the Seahawks play. But I just love the way that atmosphere is in the playoffs. It makes for great cinema, when you're watching a playoff game and it's going on in Seattle and it might be a little rainy, the weather might not be the best, and the crowd's just going nuts. It is a great environment for football, and especially playoff football. So it's going to be fun to see the NFC playoffs going through Seattle. Ooh. Charbonnet had to double grab that handoff there. He almost lost it. 0 fumbles on 521 touches. Man, they're really trying to set him up, aren't they? Charbonnet, he's got it. Oh, it was 3rd and 4. He did not get the first down. He did not get the first down. It is going to be 4th and 1 at looks like about the 3-yard line. And they're going to have to make a decision here. Kick a field goal or go for it. They're keeping the offense on the field. I mean, it is a 2-possession game. And a first down here essentially puts the game out of reach. A touchdown here definitely puts the game out of reach. So you go for it. Oh, they got the tush push crew going. They're going to line up and bark it out. They're going to probably call timeout here. Yeah, he's going to call timeout. Oh, they let it go to a delay game? Why not wait? I mean, why not use one of your timeouts there and not put that penalty on your offense? You have 3 timeouts. You're leading by 10 points. I mean, I understand you can serve the timeout. You move the kick back 5 yards. It was inside the 3, which is a weird kick because it's really close to the crossbar, where at least it gives them a little more room here. You might even want to do a false start, move them back another 5, but they could decline that, I guess. 26-yarder. No good. Off the upright. Off the upright. No good. And it remains a 10-point game for Seattle. He kicks it off the upright. If he was any farther away, it would have kept going outside. It was curving out. It started to look good, and then it moved to the right. All right, so now San Francisco, 10-point game, 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, no timeouts, and they've got the ball at their own 20. Not great. Incomplete. Mm-mm. I guess they're not going to want to do the black uniforms in important games again. I like the old red ones, like the ones they wore back when they were fighting for NFC championships with the Dallas Cowboys. Ooh, yeah. Brock Purdy smacked his hand off of one of the defender's helmet there. That looked like it hurt. All right, little dump off to McCaffrey and nice tackle by Emma Wari. And we are down to the 2 minute warning. Here we go. So now it's been updated on Fantasy Super Contest. Like I said, we've got Coin Hop looking like a 1-1. Bruiser has not had any plays yet, but if you look head to head here and head to head here in these two games, Miami and New England and Tennessee and Jacksonville, a lot of people in the top 10 on Cincinnati, -7.5. Again, I am on the Browns plus the 7.5. So I'd like to see these all lose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people in the top 9 entries all have Cincinnati. Could certainly benefit the rest of these people moving up if they lose. No one on the Browns, though. Ooh. Nice throw by Purdy, but it was a difficult catch, and it's 4th and 6. Again, 1 on Chicago, 2 on Chicago, 1 on Detroit and Potato Commish. And a lot of people on Jacksonville, 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 Jacksonville. All these guys down here on Jacksonville. Ooh, Purdy got hit, and it's incomplete. And Seattle's going to win this game. Brock Purdy got rocked on that one. I hope he's okay. Let's not lose the quarterback going into the playoffs. Uh-oh, he's down. Did he just get the wind knocked out of him, or is he really hurt? Yeah, that was Williams, too. He's a beast. Ooh, watch out. Brock. Oh, he got pinned between two people. As one guy hit him in the back, another guy hit him up high and like bent him backwards. That did not look good. Ooh, his ankle's on it. Well, okay. Got out of that. He just got rocked. Bang in the back. And then he gets pushed forward again. Yeah, that had to have hurt. He probably got the wind knocked out of him. Oh, yeah, you can see his fingers bleeding. A lot of Seattle's in the top 5 or top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. And only one person on San Francisco, Grandmaster B. But he had Carolina, so he got a 1 win over all these Tampa Bay losses. So that was a good spot for him to jump up. But he's going to lose this one. And these Seattle right here, Tubu Shooter and Baller is going to move up. We already looked at that. Let's take a look. I want to see what the other entries were. Well, they're starting to take a knee now, so it looks like we can officially call it a wrap on this game. They're all hugging and high-fiving. Another knee. 3rd down. Yeah, so they got to take one more knee under 40 seconds, and that's game. All right. Well, there we go. At least the money line parlay cashed, and we are 1-1 in our Survivor entry for Week 18. 1 game above 500 with 3 games to go. Thank you to everyone for joining me for the live stream today and all season long. Again, we will be live streaming for the Sunday night football game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens right here on YouTube. So be sure to join us. And we will also be dropping our content for the playoffs and having some live shows during the NFL playoffs. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. But to everyone out there, I hope you made some money this Saturday and maybe on the college games. Start your 2026 off right with some extra money in your pocket. And be sure to take care of yourselves out there. Have a good one.